I believe how many people ask me, they all want to know, what does our voiceover artist look like? Who is the man behind the voice?
I'm sure viewers are going to be interested to see the faces behind the voices of top billing.
Alex J has been a top billing voice since the early days of the show. And though his dress sense and hairstyle may have changed since the 80s, his warm voice and energy have remained his signature.
We have great fun recording. Patience and I mean, I know she sits there with a thesaurus. There's Marisa, our audio engineer, there. That's right, female audio engineer, and damn good, I'm telling you. The attention to the detail is such that, I'll give you a small example, in a paragraph, no matter how long that paragraph is, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45, we're not going to repeat a word. If it's a banquet, it's not going to be called a banquet second time around. It's going to be called a feast, a smorgasbord, or whatever. That's the variety. No one else is doing that attention to detail stuff. Nobody. And her knack for spotting talent is just spectacular. I mean, if you look at Michael Mole, Jeannie D, all of the guys that she's managed to get into the ranks, I mean, it's just, she's been the one going, you, because she can see and recognize it as a viewer who still loves television herself.
This week on Top Billing.
Another evergreen presence is a certain Kevin Patrick James Savage, who joined the show in 1996. His warm, dulcet tones have lent richness and intimacy to every story he's ever voiced.
I was at a restaurant, and there was a couple on the table kind of next to us over there. And I couldn't help but overhear them having a conversation, and one was saying to the other, "I'm sure it's him." And the other one said, are you certain it's him? Yes, I'm sure it's him. I've heard his voice on television. I know it's him. And finally they said, well, why don't you ask him? So one of them leant over and said, excuse me, but do you work for Top Billing? And I went, yes, I do. And she said, see, I said it was Alex J.
Any last thoughts, Michael?
We worked at the bottom of the Constantia Valley in a converted chicken farm. And that's where we did the voiceovers, in a loft.
Elegant mansion once described it as a stylistic disaster.
And there were still feathers here and there. It was wonderful. And I remember once actually sitting outside taking in some fresh air, and one of the pigs came along and bit me on the toe. Welcome to television.
We've had some interesting times. You know, the things we have to do to get this show on air. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago I came in, the change in weather and hay fever is going crazy. So I walk in and I sound really, really nasal. Patience walks in for the voiceover. She says, there's no way we can record with you sounding like this. And we try to find another slot to come in later, but we couldn't, so we had to do it at that point. So she sends the driver away to get some, I don't know, some old wives' remedy or something. They put it in this big jar with hot water, and I'm trying to inhale this stuff. It's so nasty. I'm crying, tears and whatever. Bottom line, my voice cleared up and we could do the recording. And I think there was another time when I made the mistake of getting Marisa and Patience cupcakes before the voiceover. You know, because, man, you gotta treat the ladies nicely. But it got Patience on such a sugar high. She was coming up with all sorts of crazy suggestions of what to do. You know, normally it's like straight, you know, this is what we do on Top Billing, this is what we gotta do. And this one time she's like, okay, now, after that line, I want you to give me an evil laugh, like,
Like, really?
No, more evil. They're there, they're drawing.
And then Marisa and I laughed because we thought she was joking. So we laughed, and then we stopped and she's like, no, seriously, I want you to give me an evil laugh after that line. And, you know, I thought to myself, never again am I getting this woman sugar before a voiceover.
You know when people watch Top Billing and they remember something that the presenters have done which is absolutely spectacular. Now we have to create a spectacular experience like that for the 20th birthday. So what should we do which everybody can remember and relate to?
What about us diving in Finland? Michael Mole?
That was a chilling experience for the good doctor.
And the balloon jumping with Michelle.
A good idea, but try not to go overboard.
I've got a better one. How about we recreate Michael's trip to space that he did in Russia?
It certainly was a memorable flight. Almost out of this world.
I think all those ideas sound brilliant, but what can everybody remember that was most brilliant that we did right here in South Africa?
I got a great idea, wing walking.
Wing